Well, overnight, the credit ratings agency Fitch has reconfirmed Australia's AAA credit rating and also says it thinks the Reserve Bank is now done with interest rate rises. Well, hallelujah. Ross Greenwood joins us now. Ross, this is a shot in the arm for the government.
Sure is. You reckon Jim Chalmers is pretty happy with this morning? The media release came out at 6:15 a.m. I thought that was pretty encouraging by the government. So clearly the fact that Australia right now is only one of 9 countries that has AAA credit ratings from the 3 credit ratings agencies, which is Fitch, Standard & Poor's and Moody's. And here are the countries that, are in this company. So you can see Germany, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Switzerland, Sweden. What's not there is kind of interesting as well. There's no France, there's no UK, there's no Spain or Italy, there's no United States, which is the big one that's not there. There's no China. You'd sit there and realise that Australia actually has got its finances over a very long period of time in reasonably good shape to be in that sort of company. But the other interesting thing about this is basically also saying, which is really important because the government has not said this. In fact, when I spoke with Jim Chalmers just last week on Business Weekend, he was saying, hey, remember that the surplus was last year, it's not this year. But here is Fitch actually saying that Australia will stay in surplus in this financial year. So in other words, the government will make a profit yet again, which gives it the ability to hand out cost of living relief if it needs to. So this is really important, Pete, because many people expected as the economy would slow, the budget would dip back into deficit again, losing money, adding to the debt. In fact, Fitch is saying not the case. In fact, it will narrow from 1% of GDP to 0.5% of GDP. In other words, the surplus they're saying is probably likely to come in around the $10 billion mark. And this is coming as commodity prices begin to ease and the labour markets loosen slightly, which means the government doesn't get as much money back in from taxpayers from their PAYG taxes they pay.
OK, Ross, but if all this is good news, why do so many people feel so bad in their cost of living?
Because while the government, on one hand, is fairly robust right now in terms of the amount of money coming in, families, households and many small businesses are not having the same experience. So while the economy, and Fitch says here, Australia will not see a recession, largely as a result of the 500,000 people a year coming in, which is boosting our economy, the same is not true for households. So this is household. Per capita GDP output is going backwards and has for 2 quarters in a row. In other words, there is an individual household recession, but that recession is not being replicated by what's being seen by the government and its finances right now. So as a result of this, while people have actually got jobs, they're okay, they can cut back, but they are certainly feeling the pinch. They're going backwards in real terms. The second thing is also here, Fitch says the Reserve Bank is one and done. In other words, after 13 rate rises from May last year, the last one being on Tuesday, it says now it believes the Reserve Bank has reached the end of its tightening cycle and that basically 4.35%, where they are right now, is the peak of interest rates here in Australia.
OK, I assume it's going to hang up there for a while, though, before they start coming down anyway. But let's go to Optus, Ross. The outage 2 days ago that shut transport systems, health centres, businesses.
Yeah.
The company now trying to make amends. So we've got this extra data that people will be able to get. A few experts have scoffed at that. But do you think it'll work?
No, it won't work. That's quite clear.
Yeah.
I think that's the case. Right now, they're basically in a fight to try and hold on their customers. So this is 200 gigabytes of data. Trevor Long, you spoke to earlier, so heard from Joel Philp there, basically saying 200 gigabytes. Well, most people don't use their data on a monthly basis. So it's worth $70, but it's worthless if you don't actually already use your data and you go over. So the point is, it's almost a pretty hollow thing. It will cost Optus very, very little to be able to achieve that, it would be fair to say. But as it indicates, the telecommunications industry ombudsman is where the real action can be, being able to award maximums of up to $100,000 per customer if they have been significantly inconvenienced.
OK, just to finish up here, Ross, Tritium, which makes electric vehicle chargers, hailed by the PM as the future of manufacturing in this country, just closed its Brisbane factory as it teeters on the brink of collapse.
Yeah, it was looking for a $90 million handout from either the federal government or the state governments. But I want to take you back. Pre-election last year, the aspiring Prime Minister Anthony Albanese went to Tritium and went to their factory in Brisbane. Here's what he said.
What we have behind us is the best electric vehicle charging stations in the world. Right here. Intellectual property made here in Australia, with engineers and smart people made here in Australia and manufacturing just across the road and then tested here in Australia, creating jobs here in Australia. That's what we need to do. We have enormous opportunity.
What a difference 18 months makes, Pete. That plant now gone broke with those high-tech jobs lost to America, where it has another plant it's trying to survive.
All right, Ross Greenwood, as always, good to see you.